2FM with Super Value Travel Insurance. Don't worry about a thing with Great Value Travel Insurance at supervalue.ie. Find us on Facebook.
Tubridy 2FM.
Right then, it's a little 25 to 10. Several days ago, Google published its list of top trending toys and what's likely to sell out this festive season. So we see the usual games and the Barbies and Lego and My Little Ponies. And then the Ouija board suddenly jumps out. Sales of the Ouija board, which allows people to contact the dead, have gone up 300%. 300%, according to the internet giant. All as a result of a new horror film called, wait for it, Ouija. Or Ouija. Ouija board. So Ouija. Anthony Kerrigan is from GhostÉire, as in Ireland, a team that investigates paranormal activity in locations all around the country, and he's used Ouija boards many, many times. Good morning to you, Anthony Kerrigan.
Hello, Ryan. Hello, Ireland, and hello, the world.
Are you well?
I'm very well, and I'd just like to say congratulations on the toy show. It was wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, but I tell you what we didn't feature was a Ouija board.
I know, yeah.
What are they, Anthony?
Well, the Ouija board, it was started up by a man called Elijah Bond in the 1800s at the height of the spiritualism. It's a Ouija board that features the alphabet, numbers, yes and no, goodbye, hello wording. Ourselves with GhostÉire, we incorporate symbols, colours, different languages, planetary signs, astrology signs, different kind of types of boards, so that we're able to communicate a varied instead of the old traditional Ouija board that people seem to know.
Okay, so if you were to use one under the right conditions, where do you go, how many of you are there, and what do you do?
Well, what we do when we do an investigation, right, we do the baseline testing, we do like check how the electrics are, humidity, temperature, decibel, lighting. And before we do the investigation, we actually do a protection prayer. There's usually about 6 or 7 of us on an investigation. And after the protection prayer, we do various experiments, could be scientific or spiritual. And then after the investigation, we evaluate the recordings that we've got, the footage and the audio.
So, if you were to take us into a typical, you use the word investigation. Is that what you mean? It's that what you call a session on the Ouija board? Is it an investigation? Sorry.
No, the investigation could be a number of experiments. There's a number of experiments you could be doing there. The Ouija board or the talking board, as I like to refer to it, would be mainly just like a bit part, just a visual there.
So, what are you investigating?
Well, we see if there's anything to do with the history, a number of the locations we've been to, I've contacted, or some of them have contacted me. It's to do with anything that is paranormal that's around the location. It could be to do with the history, folklore, could be myth. There's a lot of history lost nowadays there. And we see if there's any, about 9 times out of 10 things can be explained. But it's just that 1% that could be that's unexplainable, and then we have to really evaluate that there is a haunting around. So we actually investigate hauntings there.
Haunting. So if somebody feels their house is haunted, they might give you a shout in GhostÉire, and you'd sit down with the team and get the Ouija board out and start asking questions, correct?
Not really. No, we don't. We actually, so most things can be solved by just word of mouth there.
Okay, but can we just focus on the Ouija board for a second?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a handle on why you'd use it and when you'd use it and what happens when you use it.
Well, we only use it for the investigations, like locations, not like private houses, people that are concerned about a haunting. We use it just to make contact, see if we can get any dates, any names, any year the spirit is from, any the types of clothing, what they get, that sort of thing.
Okay, perfect. And so if you're at the board, you have is it the glass over the letters?
Yeah, it's like a glass, and the spirit is supposed to come through and use your energy to try and communicate on some of the stuff we've got with GhostÉire. Sometimes it doesn't need any connection with most of the spiritual experiments, traditional spiritual experiments like dowsing they've heard, like a seance, and the Ouija board or talking board. They all need human intervention, like connection.
Okay.
Some of the stuff we do on the GhostÉire, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Sure. So as you're asking questions of a spirit when you're in a room with the board, the spirit contacts you through the glass moves involuntarily. Is that right? So it would say things like, "My name is John," or "I'm from 1842." Is that kind of thing? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we ask for, before we start, we ask for direct answers. We ask for any negative beings or any negative people any spirits that need us harm to back away there. We ask our spirit guides to come forward and protect us. We ask the various questions that we ask would be what I said before, but it could be a glass, it could be a plancha, which is a heart-shaped wooden instrument that can be used, maybe seen on the movies, because that exists these days. But it could be also a coin in a car, so it doesn't have to be a glass or anything like that,
Can you give me an example of the most extraordinary experience you've had with the Ouija board?
Well, we've had every place we've gone to has been extraordinary there. I suppose with the talking board, there's other elements that come into it there. You might get the cold breezes. We've got voices coming through on the audio and the recordings. We've got visually stuff moving without us intervening on it. You can get the taste in the mouth there. There's a few locations that we've had people collapse there, but that was to do mainly because of somebody being skeptic. Now, being on the glass, it's like a hose pipe, and they were on the glass, putting a finger forceful down on the glass, and then they came away, and some lady came back on, and then a minute later, the glass started to move, and then she collapsed.
If I was to buy one on the internet today, do I have to believe in the phenomenon of the Ouija board in order for it to work, or would it work for a skeptic anyway?
Well, if you've got skeptic, you might have fear, and that brings a lot of the negativity into it there. If I would advise there, if anybody's going to buy it there, say if you're an adult there, then there's 4 things you need to know is like respect, intent, direction, and control. Knowing what to respect the people you're in, because it is a social thing, because you need to probably do it with another person. So you need to know what you're doing yourself and how you're feeling yourself, how the other person is, and respect of what's around, and be in control of it there,
But you do need a belief system, don't you? Because if you think that when you're dead, if you believe that somebody dies and they become dust and end up in there, and that's the end of it, right? Yeah. Clearly you don't believe that they've gone on somewhere else to be something else. So, and in other words, then the Ouija board is it's hocus pocus. Like it's a dark joke, really. If you don't believe in the afterlife or in spirituality at all.
True, yeah. People do skeptics. They're probably, it's supposed you need the positive energy to do it there. You can be skeptic afterwards by ourselves. Like I can be skeptic myself. We're all skeptic in our lives,
Yeah, but can't you be skeptical and positive rather than just because you don't believe it doesn't make you negative?
I suppose you could be doing that as well there, but it could be everyone's got that in them, so there's a lot more darker stuff that happens, You're talking about getting over the internet, sure, there's letters and numbers on the keyboard you use and at the board, but, we ourselves in the past there, we've had people there that have been skeptics or observers there, and they've witnessed stuff there, but if you're a skeptic, especially if you're a teenager, there might be reasons why the parents sees the talking board in a teenager's bedroom. Might be other reasons why they sell it there. Same as cigarettes, drinking, drugs,
Yeah, you would worry a bit about the younger people who kind of, are you to say dabbling. But there was also the vulnerable people who are trying to get in touch with, a relative or what have you, and this is where the world of mediums is up for discussion too, because some people think again that's nonsense, and that they might be preying on people who just are just stuck and desperate.
True, yeah, I imagine so. There is, I've said for every profession there's good workers and there's bad workers, yourself.
Yeah, yeah, of course. This text says these people buying Ouija boards are dabbling in the world of evil spirits. It's very dangerous and they should be banned. Why are people so passionately for and against it?
Well, I suppose the people that are against it, they know once since it's been indoctrinated into them since a young age, that it's something bad to do, like we were saying about smoking or drinking. And you know, if you're a teenager, then you know it's a bit of a taboo, so you want to see trying to seek it out yourself. So that's probably one of the reasons why people don't like it, probably religion. And the Ouija board in most recent years, like the Paranormal Activity franchise, has come under scrutiny there. I don't know any people scientifically, any evidence that it is bad, but it's to do with religion as well. Maybe people as well are coming back into the older ways of, instead of like TVs and watching DVDs and computer games, they're actually doing a sit-in, like a type of seance now these days, and actually trying to broaden their mind and be more open-minded.
Okay, Anthony, I think you got the ball rolling in that chat anyway, and thank you so much for clarifying all that stuff for us this morning. It's nice to talk to you.
No problem. Merry Christmas, Ryan.
And the very same to you and your family, Anthony. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, my daughter loved the show anyway.
What's her name?
Clodagh.
Clodagh, tell her I said thanks a million, will you?
I will do.
Okay, take care. Have a great day. Thank you, Anthony.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye now. That's Anthony Kerrigan from GhostÉire. That's IRE if you want to investigate further on the subject of the Ouija board. I've never had a go on a Ouija board. Didn't cross my path, if you like, as a kid. I think there was always some class of, group in a class or year who were kind of into that sort of thing. And there was always kind of crazy tales from the curtained bedrooms, probably. But maybe it's more, is it a teenage girls thing or boys thing? I think. But there's Anthony from GhostÉire, and he's not a teenage girl or a boy. He's a fully grown adult, and that's his thing. I think it would freak you out if you were a kid, though, especially if you're too young. I think it would freak you out, but it's not for everyone. Did you know, Ryan, Ouija is the French for yes, we, and the German for yes, ja, and it's hocus pocus. For some, yes, of course.